In memory of the Asaba massacre, this is a monument commemorating the mass grave site in honor of Asaba men that lost their lives during the massacre between the 4th and 7th of October in 1967.
Just at the outset of the Nigerian-Biafra War fought over the attempted secession of Biafra, over 1,000 men were killed at the Oboso Way, including late First Lady Mariam Babangida's father. It remains the only massacre in the world of this magnitude to be treated with silence and impunity.
I'm talking about the Asaba massacre and being a victim of that. And in yours, you're the son of a very, very senior army officer in Nigeria who was sadly killed in the first coup. Some people might regard us as being on two extreme sort of ends of an issue, and might be surprised to find that we're not, that we're both fellow travelers. So I'm trying to explore how we might be able to use our particular sad experiences positively, considering the nature of challenges that Nigeria is facing. It appears that those issues that led to those disagreements are still somewhat with us in one way or the other, because they've just simply not been addressed. So this is a very, very important conversation, and I believe that quite a number of people in Nigeria would benefit from it. And I know you share that view.
No, absolutely, Chuck, and it's my pleasure to be speaking with you on this very profound issue. I think the issue you refer to is one that is ironic in the sense that while the reference to us being on different ends of a spectrum, actually the reality is that there are no boundaries to pain or to grief or to loss. The only things that separate us would be our inability to understand common purpose, where we all fit into this cycle of unaddressed grievance. And so I think, like you, with you, in the same way that you seek to bring closure, I also share that aspiration. And I believe that if you're able to achieve this, you achieve it for yourself, for me, but you also achieve it for our people as a country.
Chuks Nduka Eze achieved some of his notoriety in the United Kingdom for his successful prosecution of an Oxford curator who damaged the exhibition of the famous UK artist Damien Hirst, whose works was then shown at the Serpentine Gallery in Kensington Gardens in the United Kingdom.
Broker some sort of understandable settlement that didn't work, and the war started. The reality of any kind of civil war, particularly the type we had in Nigeria, that no Igbo person was safe in any part of Nigeria, no matter what your politics was. So here was this nationalist who was fighting for Nigeria and believed in one Nigeria, could not remain in Lagos. So we all were sort of parceled down to Asaba, and at some point, even though we lost our mom, we ended up in Biafra. Now, anybody who speaks truth to power has no friend, because truth has no friendship. Truth stands on its own merit. That was my dad giving a particular type of advice to Ojukwu, who just turned around and said, "Oh, you're in Nigeria anyway. Your sympathies have always been the other way," and incarcerated him. So my dad spent quite a lot of time in detention in Biafra. Then the war ended, and General Gowan picks him up as somebody who assisted Biafra, and he spent some time in detention in Nigeria. Now, you see, these men were quite remarkable because of what they had put in. They give so much to Nigeria, and they saw things a bit differently. So I'll end with this reflection. Many years later, I had the opportunity and privilege of meeting General Gowon at Warwick University. I think then he was doing his PhD program. I was just a young law student. So I met him with another colleague whose parents he was very close to. And on my introduction, something kind of flashed in his memory about the Lemon device. And he made a rather curious comment. He said, in the course of talking, he said, I know that name. I know that name. I hope your family does not hold certain things against me. Because I kind of suspected what that was about. So that year I came back on holiday. And I said to my dad, I had tea or coffee or whatever it was with General Gowon. He said something quite curious. He said, I hope my family does not hold. My dad said, you didn't give him that impression. And I thought, he sent you to prison. He said, they had hawks in that cabinet who were baying for blood, and said that all the intellectuals and all the people who were arrested, who were Igbos, who were detained post the war, he killed. It took the restraining influence of General Gowon to save our lives. And so, as far as he was concerned, Gowon was a wonderful chap, and I can see that. Gowon was a wonderful chap at whose intervention a lot of lives were. So, this war that was supposed to have ended with no victor, no vanquished, that particular principle was put to a lot of pressure. So Nigeria was unable to apply those principles that would have really assisted in healing and might have repositioned the country going forward. And in one way or the other, those stresses have figured out.
Sadly, indeed. That's a really, really profound story. And what came to my mind was at the end of World War II, the three victorious leaders, Churchill, Roosevelt, and Stalin, sat together to decide the fate of the Germans. And Stalin said, take 50,000 German intellectuals, military, civil, engineers, the best scientists, and just kill them. Kill the top German elite to make sure that there is no resurgence of the Nazi regime. And Churchill said, deindustrialize Germany. Just make sure that the industries are crippled, they can't build another war machine. And Roosevelt said, no, let's try the individuals who are responsible for war crimes and genocide. And that's what triumphed. That's the solution that triumphed.
Right.
So indeed, if General Gowon had taken the advice of the Stalinists, we would be dealing with a different issue.
Yes, that's true. So it's possible to see the good sides. Even if you're a victim. You need to be able to rise above certain tendencies, right? And draw on your sad experience, but always see the humanity in all these situations. The Nigerian story is very unique. If we handled it with understanding, compassion, with responsibility, and we still have that opportunity. This country, has a chance. But if we continue in this way of ignoring all the signposts of danger and just carrying on as though they will just go away, then we're not doing very well for those who are coming behind us. I thought that this reflection, this conversation, might just add a little bit of positive wisdom insofar as you and I can be wise.
Absolutely.
Hope
Absolutely.
that some people can take it on board and distill from it, you know, the message, a very painful message that we're sending from our very painful experience. I think something positive to be derived from it.
That's my hope as well. Eternal hope. We're in our late 50s and 60s. This has been a lifelong road. I pray it wouldn't take another half century for these issues to be reconciled.
Till today, no proper explanation has been given by the Nigerian government for the Asaba massacre.